Hello, my name is Radomir Sejdak. I'm speaking 4 languages, including German, which I learned in 2 years, Spanish, which I learned 1 year, and French now. Actually, this is the 5th one, which I'm learning in 1 year. That's why the channel is called Language Challenge, and I want to also help you challenge yourself to learn the foreign language. The title of today is why you don't need a talent to learn foreign language, or even if it's no talent, no talent in you, this is good. It's even the best. Yeah. A lot of people say that I'm just not talented in languages. Yeah, and that's why I cannot learn. Yeah, I could have said the same things. I had falling grades. Really, I was really bad in languages. I started with German, I was very bad. And today I want to tell you something really important, that talent for language learning is overrated, you know. It's really not so important, not so true. This is really how it works. Daily contact with language, even 15 minutes per day, this is what can help you. If you think you have no chance without talent, this video is exactly for you. I want to tell you honestly, yeah, that I don't see myself as someone who had huge talent in learning language. I was not a guy who picked up instantly the language and speaking after 1 month or 3 months. Yeah, I really had really bad grades in German, and in English I was very ineffective in the school. Yeah, and I had difficult moments, bad grades really, and difficulties to go in between the classes. Yeah, and mental blocks. So, and yet today I speak several languages which I learned in my adult years. You know, 20 years later, after I was in a primary school, or 15 years later after I finished universities, and it was possible. And it wasn't a talent, it wasn't any gift, it was a system. Yeah. Myth of the talent is the problem is that people convince themselves that they want to learn they cannot learn quickly without talent, and they get one bad grade or stressful lesson or stressful situation with the native speaker, or somebody is laughing or so on, and then they think it's not for me because I don't have talent. Yeah, and this is not the truth. It's actually only the interpretation. Very often we don't have a problem with talent. We have problem with method, with pressure, with the teacher, with environment, with inconsistency, which means approach. And there are two separate things. Talent has become a convenient explanation, excuse, because if you say I don't have talent, then you are no longer obliged to try. But the truth is, the language is not magic, it's just a process of learning. I had a moment myself that I could really think that I'm very bad in languages. Yeah, I had falling grades, I couldn't go through in between the classes. It was really bad. Yeah, I mean really bad. Yeah, no, it was really the stage which I thought is something wrong with me. Yeah, maybe it was method, maybe it was bad approach, maybe it was a teacher, and it's very probably it was, or a school education in general, same, also faulty. Yeah, and that was really and I could understand that I had no talent. Yeah, but what I know now is a bad grade is only from this moment, in this exactly temporary state, you can have bad grades because of environment, because of bad method, yeah, which were pushed to you in the language, yeah, and the result can change when you change the method, when you change the environment, change the teacher, change the approach, and change the reason behind you. Why do you learn? This can influence hugely your potential and results in learning, because we learn for a reason. Yeah. Another things about the talent. Yeah. apart from talent, we think sometimes the motivation is what pushing us to learn. But motivation is great, but sometimes it goes down very quickly. It can go up and down every week, depends how much work you have, how much reason you have behind learning. Sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less, and then in the end motivation can evaporate, and then you are left without learning language. And this is the most important thing, that you should not be ruled by motivation. It's important, but I strongly believe in a simple rule that 15 minutes every day is better than 3 hours every 2 weeks. Because for this 15 minutes every day, you don't need too much motivation. What you need is consistency. 15 minutes per day, everybody can find 15 minutes per day. You can find it. You are working, you have family, you have company, you are traveling a lot. I have all of this, and I still find 15 minutes per day for learning more than one language, by the way. Yeah, and it's much better to do it because it's a routine than to do, 3 hours every 2 weeks, or even 2 hours every week in the weekend when you have a time and motivation. But when you make consistently every day, you don't need too much motivation, you just learn. Yeah. And why is every day is much better? Also because of consistency, but second, language needs a contact, daily contact. It needs frequency, regularity, and naturality. Yeah, it's not one day attack on the language, attack of ambition and motivation. It's more like immersion in the language. And when you are doing every small step every day, then after a year you're in a completely different place. And that's exactly why system beats talents. That's exactly why talent is not important. It's a system and regularity doing every day. I give sometimes also to the learning very important example, that you already learned one language. Sometimes it's more than one. Yeah, there are 200 countries in the world, and 2,000 languages, 10 times more languages than countries, which very likely that in your country there's a lot of people who are speaking more than one language, and where they were born in the place where they were speaking 2 languages, or even maybe 3 languages in the same moment. And they learn as a children, yeah, but the children doesn't have to have talent, they just learn. Yeah, it's the same like with riding a bike as a child. Yeah, you don't need talent to ride a bike, you just ride a bike. If you want to be in Olympic Games, maybe you need a talent. Yeah, but the same like riding a bike or driving a car, you just need to do it just normally, properly. Like with speaking language, you don't need to be talented to win the rally race or to win the Olympic Games, World Championship or Tour de France on the bike. Yeah? So it's the same with languages, and children don't care. They just immerse themselves, surround themselves, listen, make mistakes, speak. Yeah, they do make mistakes. Yeah, they learn years. Yeah, learning takes years, and after this time, they just speak. Children don't overanalyze. They twist the words, build strange sentences, and keep talking, not being ashamed. They just to sound perfectly, just simply use the language. And adults, we are so smart, intelligent, that we want to only be perfect. We want to say it properly, yeah, without trying to not be embarrassed or what. And then this is what stops, because people are sometimes learning for months, and I know that people are learning from books or months or tapes or so on, without saying the words, listening and so on, without saying the words. And this just doesn't work. This is not how children are learning. It's a huge block to be, perfectionism, and also counting on the talent. Yeah. I believe strongly in 15 minutes per day learning. That sounds very small, and it is. It's a routine you could build every day. But look at this, only 15 minutes per day times 365 days a year gives you 90 hours per year, yeah? And it's much better than this. It's not the same as taking the course in the language and making there 90 hours. Yeah? It's not this. Because with consistency, 50 minutes per day, you are learning fresh, on your fresh mind every day. And you're adding more layers, more complexity, more stuff, and this calls immersion. When you go for a course, once per week for 2 hours or once every 2 weeks, usually it's after work, you are tired and you are not alone. If you have one teacher face to face, probably will be better. But when you are one of 10 students per one teacher, very possibly, or one for 20, also possibly, I was also on courses like this, then you have one teacher for 20 people. It's no way you are going to learn there with this teacher, yeah? And the question is then, what happened when you, instead of going and paying for this course $1,000 or whatever, you just spend this time in much less money. I mean, much less money. $50, I don't know, $50, $70 1 year, and you will be doing 15 minutes per day. This can bring you much further than any course you can imagine. And I did it. Yeah, I paid also for the courses. And it didn't bring me any communicative result. So yeah. So today, if you are thinking, I don't have talent for languages, I want to tell you one thing. Maybe you don't have talent, but you don't need it either. And so what? You don't have talent. You don't need it. Talent is not the most important thing. The most important thing is a system, is a daily routine, is consistency, is doing the right thing, but every day, being in contact with language, a permission to make mistakes, because this is also which push you forward step by step, little steps, but every day, yeah. And understanding that the language is not about perfection. It's not about going to exam. It's a tool for communication. And if you give yourself 15 minutes per day, you can go further, much further than somebody spending thousands and thousands of dollars per year for learning. I strongly believe in it, and this is what I also do. Please write in a comment which language you are learning, what's the stage on you are on learning, or to which language you want to come back, you are dreaming about, yeah? What is your challenges in learning languages? I really want to know, and I will answer in the comment section also. So, because today is the right moment to starting learning language, and I hope I showed you also that talent should not stop you. If you are dreaming about coming back to the language, if you are dreaming about learning the new language, come back to this, do it every day, do it also with me. My name is Radomir Sejdak. I'm here to help you. That's why I record this video. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time. Take care.